I've worked with hundreds of family farm operations over the years, and one thing has always been true. Perception, most of the time, is a lie, right? Anybody can create this image for themselves and make people around the community, perceive their operation in a certain way. But I can tell you with absolute certainty that a majority of the operations around you don't have any idea where they're at financially. Every new piece of equipment you see them buying, every new piece of ground they may be purchasing, or maybe they're renting more acres or building new facilities, whatever that may be, guys, a majority of it is built on one strategy: hope and prayer. Right. And this is just, it's true. And it will continue to be true year after year, because deep down at the end of the day, people do not know their numbers. And if you have a big flashy operation and everything like that, the first assumption I'm going to have is that you don't know your numbers. And this, again, this isn't because I'm individually targeting anybody. This is literally because of working with over 300 family farm operations from across the country, from all different walks of life. The second piece of the story is competing with other neighbors or other farmers and stuff in your county or your region can get really messy. And the number one reason for this is because, guys, it just steals your focus, right? It steals your focus from actually executing and working with what you have, right, inside of your operation, and executing with it really well consistently year after year after year. Okay. Playing the comparison game is only going to rob you of the energy and focus that your operation needs. And honestly, the joy of accomplishing your targets that you have for your operation, right? Again, at the end of the day, looking at these other operations, you don't know what's going on there internally. You don't know if there's absolute chaos. And I will tell you again, from experience of working with these bigger operations that may have a big family involved or a lot of team members and employees and stuff on the team there, I can tell you that a lot of them are in chaos, right? It may not be financially, which for a majority of them it is, by the way, but it may be culturally, it may be with their team. So the number one reason to not compare yourself to anybody going on and just focus on you is because you do not know the whole story with them. And the reality is, there's been several situations where I've worked with a customer like that, and it's always easier to look over the fence, right? The pasture's always greener on the other side. And to find out this person, I go through and explain these things to them and how much better their financial situation is compared to the person they thought they wanted to be like, right? And they recognize really quickly that, hey, my side is actually pretty good. And actually the person that I was comparing myself to would love to be in my situation right now. The next problem with focusing on another individual's farm operation is it gets you to focus on the wrong things like revenue. Now, what do I mean by that? Farmers are competitors, right? Some people, they have a dream of being the biggest farmer in their county or farming 10,000 acres, whatever that may be. Now, the problem is that when that's the dream, it causes us to make dumbass business decisions. What do I mean by that? The foundation of your business is everything. And the reality is a majority of the people out there that are focusing on revenue and focusing on farming a bunch of acres and stuff like that, they're not focused on the foundation of their business, right? They're playing that comparison game versus trying to make what they have. Maybe they're farming 2,500 acres or whatever that may be. The question should be is, how can I make these 2,500 acres as profitable as I can? Versus a lot of people, they don't focus on that because they're focused on doubling, tripling, or quadrupling their acres and being a 10,000 acre farmer in the country, because that's ego, right? That is 100% ego, guys, and it will fulfill them from that angle, but financially, it'll ruin them. And the reason is because if your foundation for your business is not built to run a 10,000 acre operation, you're going to get exposed. There's going to be leaks that pop up either financially, operationally, with your team, whatever. They're going to be holes exposed everywhere. And those operations, guys, they always go down. They always fail because at the end of the day, they grew too fast. They focused on revenue. They focused on acres versus focusing on profit and running a very sound business with what they currently have and locking in as much profit margin as they can, right? The guys that at the end of the day, the focus does not need to be on revenue. The focus needs to be on profit margin. So hopefully by the end of this video, you have come to the terms that, hey, we need to focus on our operation. Forget what everybody else is doing. At the end of the day, I don't know what's going on internally with them. And again, I'm going to confidently tell you that most people around you don't know your numbers. And if you're one of those people that don't know your numbers, this is exactly what we do inside a Legacy Farmer. We help our customers master their finances and build a great business. So if that's of interest to you and you want to learn more, then make sure you click the link below, schedule a call with our team, and we'll talk to you soon.